All right, Math 7, here is, if you're gold, this is your Wednesday video lesson. If you're green, this is your Thursday video lesson. So this is exactly what we're doing in class, so there's no need for you to watch this if you're in class. This is only for kids that are maybe on quarantine or out, or maybe you need to watch it again. Maybe you didn't really get what we were doing in class today. You need to see it. So we're going to start solving some word problems with percents, and we use this proportion. Okay, and this is what we're going to use for all percent word problems. So really, we have part over total, right? So part on some problems, you're going to see this is, and this will make sense the more that we do these. And then the whole is going to be the of, and the percent always goes over 100. So this 100 never changes when we set these problems up. And basically, we're going to set up a proportion. I'm going to show the proportion, and I'm actually going to show the calculator again so you can see how we do it. But these are called is over of problems. And I'm going to talk about them in terms of like a test, where the part is the number that you got correct, that's the is, and the whole is the total, how many total points were on the test, and then the percent is going to be what percent did you get on the test. So these questions are going to ask one of these three. They're either going to want the is, the of, or the percent. Same with word problems. So how do we do it? So if we use this proportion for the first one, each one's telling us something here. So I'm going to circle what the question wants. So it says, what percent? Okay, we don't know the percent, and we're going to plug that in. Of 25 is 5. There's your percent, your of, and your is. So basically, if this was a test, they're saying you got a 5 out of 25 on your test. You got 5 points. That's the part that you got out of 25 total. They want to know what percent did you get. Well, to set it up using this is over of or part over total, basically set it up as 5 over 25 equals x over 100. That is just plugging in what you know. What percent? Well, percent we don't know. That's the x over 100. Of 25, which is the total, 25 is your of. That goes on the bottom. And then is 5. 5 goes on top. Now, there's definitely different ways you can do that. Some students might see I'm just multiplying by 4, but I'm actually going to go through in the calculator how I would do it. So you multiply diagonally and divide by the third number. So you're going to take 5 times 100, which is 500. Take that and divide it by 25. You got a 20%. Okay, that is solving it. This is one where we solved it for a percent. Okay, next one. What is, I'm going to circle what it's wanting us to find, what is 7% of 300? In terms of a test, you got a 7% on a test. There were 300 total points. How many points did you get? Okay, set it up, is over of, they don't know the is. The of is 300. You got a 7% over 100. Okay. Now, to use our calculator here at this point, some may mentally be able to do this, right? But let's get that out of my lights in my basement. So let's do it this way. We take 7 times 300 equals, divide that by 100, and you got a 21. So 21 is the part that you got right on that test. Number you got right out of 300 total points to get you a 7%. All right, keep going here. All right, third one. What percent, again, this one's asking for the percent, of 55, that's the total points, if we're talking about a test, is 34. That's the part that you got. So if we plug these in, it's basically 34 over 55, and they want to know what percent. Percent is always over 100. There's your calculation that you have to figure out. So if you want to put it in your calculator, that's 34 times 100 equals 3,400. Divide that by 55. Rounded, you got a 61.8%. They say round it to the nearest tenth. So it's 61.181818, or 818181. That rounds to 61.8%. Number 4, 36% of 90 is what? You're asking for the is. So they tell you of 90, that's the total. Percent goes over 100 always. Well, here they give you the 36%, and now they want the x. Okay. There's your proportion that you can solve. All right, so 36 times 90 divided by 100 equals 32.4. So you got a 32.4 out of 90 to get a 36% on that test. Okay, let's go to the next two. So you'll see you see what to do here, I think. I mean, as we go, it's just picking if you can pick out that is and the of. So let's kind of straighten this one out here. All right, 684 is, with that focus here, is 95% of what number? Here you don't know the of. Okay? You do know the percent. Percent always goes over 100. They're giving you the part. Here's your 684 is 95%. So on this problem, they're saying, okay, you got a 95% on the test. You got 684 points. How many points was it out of? Okay, you don't know the total on this. So you take 100 times 684 divided by 95, and you'll find that was out of x is equal to 720. Okay, next one. 58% of what number? Now you don't know the of. Is 216, so 58 goes over 100. Of, don't know, is, that's the part. So on a test, again, if we keep talking about this test, you got a 58% on the test. You got 216 points on the test. They want to know how many was it out of. 216 times 100 equals 21,600 divided by 58 equals, it was out of, basically rounded, but we'll go 372.4. Rounded to the nearest tenth. Okay. Next two I'll just set up. I'm not going to solve them. And then there's some word problems on the back. So, sorry. Here, see if we can get both these. Perfect. 39 is what percent of 260? Okay? They give you the is and the of. Here's your part, here's your total. They want to know what percent. X over 100 equals 39 over 260. Okay, there's your proportion that you can set up. You got your part, didn't do well, right? 39 out of 260 is not going to be a good percent. Multiply diagonally, 39 times 100 divided by 260, see what you get. Okay, next one, what percent? Another what percent? Okay, so that's x over 100 of 36. Actually, I'm going to do this one. 36 is 90. Here's an example where there must have been a lot of extra credit because this total was out of 36 and you somehow got 90 points on this test because this is one where the part is definitely greater than the total. This is going to be greater than 100%. And I'm going to do this one. So that's not 90 times 100, 9,000. Divide that by 36. Wow, you got 250%. Wouldn't that be awesome? Okay, but no teacher's going to give that much extra credit on the test. If you got an extra, what, 64 points? All right, so there's some basic is over ofs. So I know we're at 8 minutes. So then we're just going to translate because there's a couple on your worksheet tonight where we just have word problems. All right, so we just got to pick out the part and the total. And sometimes you'll see these ofs and these is creep up even in word problems. So you got a 25 out of 35 on a quiz. What percent did you score? Well, it is out of a total of 35 points. There's your total, and there's that of. So it's disguised in here. Here's your is, right? Here's your part. So you got a 25 out of 35. I'm just going to set these up and not solve them. What percent x over 100? There's the proportion that will be used to solve that. Okay? Multiply diagonally, divide by the third number. Okay? Number 10, Joe is running for president of the middle school. In the election, he received 55%. I'm just going to go ahead and stop there. I know that 55 goes over 100. If 380 people voted, how many voted for Joe? Well, these 380 are the total number of people. Okay? There's your bottom. That's your total. How many voted for Joe? That's the part. What part of these 380 votes did vote for Joe? There's your proportion that you will set up. Okay? Number 11, in a game of hide and go seek, you found 40% of the people who hid. You found 40% of the people who hid. If you found 8 people, how many total people were hiding? So really they say this is the percent that hid. You can kind of look across, right? If we want to label this, here's the number of hid, here's the total. That's just 8 over x. 8 times 100 divided by 40. Multiply diagonally, divide by the third number. But here's one where we're finding a total. They gave you the part. Okay? Number 12, the Colts scored 325 total points this season. Don't even say total points, but that's what it's really. This is giving you the total number of points scored. Jonathan Taylor scored 64. What percentage of the points did he score? Percent over 100 equals the part is like a percent. A percent is a part of something. He scored 64 out of 324. There's your total. Total. 100% is the total. This is the total. Multiply diagonally. 64 times 100 divided by 324. Okay. You were required to bake 24 cookies for the bake sale. You baked 36. So your total, your part that you were supposed to bake is greater than the total that they wanted. So they want to know what percent. Here's another percent problem. But here, this is one that's going to be over 100% because the total is the 24 cookies. You baked 36. If you do multiply that diagonally and then divide it by 100, you will see that. Actually, let's do that one. 36 times 100 equals 3,600 divided by 24. You will find that you found 150. You baked 150% of the total. Yeah, there's one that I did because sometimes you'll get percents for greater than 100. All right, a little long, 11 minutes, but this is basically class. This is what we're doing in class if you are not here. So it will help you so you're not getting anything different than they are in class today. All right, have a great night.